Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of The Joe Show. Although that will be the last time that I use that title. So sad. Thought we had something good going on there. After giving it some thought, I have decided and am now moving forward with the new title and name of this vlog being Optimal You. Super excited about it. Feels that it encaptures the objective of not only this vlog, but also my life philosophy. Shout out to all of you who watched the first episode, who commented, gave me some suggestions, your tips, and all of the positive support. Super appreciative of it. In that first episode, I was talking about a life philosophy. Now, everything that you do during your day builds up and adds to this overall philosophy, vision, or goal that you have. I took the days after the 4th of July off, Thursday and Friday, today and tomorrow. And as I was going about my day today, I was listening to Joe Rogan. And lucky for you, Joe, we aren't going to have to battle with the titles of our shows being Joe. Now I'm going to just let you continue with that. But anyway, was listening to Joe Rogan, and one of the things that he said really stood out to me today, and a light bulb just clicked, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I want my life philosophy to be. He said that a lot of people are just living their lives and getting by, going to jobs that they don't like, doing things, being stuck in mindsets that they don't enjoy. People are not living their optimal lives, and that's where it just kind of hit me, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is really what I want to do. I want to help people live their optimal lives. And so if you were to ask me what my life philosophy is, now I would tell you without a shadow of a doubt that it is to help others live their optimal life. And that's what I want this vlog to be about. By sharing inspiring stories, about sharing fitness, nutrition tips, whatever it may be with you. Getting out of whatever rut it may be that you are in. Hopefully something in this vlog will help you live your optimal life. It's what was very surprising and made me start to think of, oh, this is it. This is what I want to do, is that oftentimes it just starts with a thought. Many of you hopefully are familiar with the movie Inception. And really, that's how it is in real life. Every action starts with a thought. And in this movie, if you recall, and if you haven't, I'll explain it a little bit. Their whole objective is to jump into people's minds and plant a thought, ultimately leading that individual to act on the thought that they implant. And it's really intriguing. I enjoy the movie, but really that's how it happens in real life. It starts with this thought. Whether you plant that thought in your mind yourself, or if it's through something that you're listening to, reading, watching, that thought gets planted. And then from there, all of our thoughts can and should lead to action, either the positive action to do something, or of course the action to not do anything. Both of those they require effort. So if you are going to have a thought and have an action, why not do something about it? But that's what overall I want to do. What this vlog is going to help you do. It's going to be based about you and for you, the listeners. And so before starting this episode, went and created an Instagram account, Optimal You. There's awesome underscores at the beginning and the end. Somebody else already had that name. I'm going to have to fight them for it. Just kidding. I'm good with the one that I got. And then also I registered my domain name, which is a shortened version. Again, I'm a little late to the game of the internet and missed out on my opportunity to get optimalu.com. But the domain that I registered is just as good. It's op-u.com. Nothing's on it right now. It's not even hosted, or there's not even a web page. I just have the domain name, but am looking forward to in the future, in the coming days, get something going with that website. Now that I have a name of the vlog, I am in need of some graphics and some design. So if any of you out there are involved with that, know that I am not a man of riches, but of course I would want to compensate, pay in some way. But I'm interested in getting Optimal You, getting some graphics for that so that I can put it onto my Instagram, hopefully one day, the web page, and then also in these videos as well. So reach out to me. I'm going to be putting up links in the description to my Facebook. You're welcome to connect with me on there through Messenger by adding me as a friend if you are not already one. If you are, shoot me over a message to my Instagram accounts, one of them being Optimal You, and then one of them being my personal account, and then also my email address. If you have any recommendations, if you yourself are involved with some graphic design, or if you know somebody, love to connect and see if we can make it a mutual benefit for both of us. Now, today's episode and what I'd like to talk about, not only revealing the vlog name and my life philosophy, but I want to talk a little bit about my fitness journey. Those of you who know me and know me well know that I have not always been this fine of a specimen. I say that jokingly because I am not yet where I want to be, still working on it, and it has literally been a journey. It's 8 years. About 8 years ago, I was in the worst shape of my life. It's sad to say that I let things get out of hand, and I was weighing about 300 pounds. I was closer to 300 than 200. I came in weighing 280 pounds. I'd always been overweight growing up, during my elementary, middle school, high school years, always a little bit heavier, but never really thought that I had a problem. I am a Christian. Being a Christian, I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and at the time, 19-year-old boys voluntarily go out and dedicate 2 years of their life to missionary work. I had decided that that was something that I wanted to do, and was able to go to Houston, Texas, and I would say that I am a Texan because of that experience. Houston's been a big part of my life, not only for those 2 years, even after. Had a bunch of great connections, friendships that were established there, and I'll love it. One of the things that Houston did for me is that the wonderful people there of my church and not of my church fed me really well. I was well taken care of. At 19 years old, I left on this 2-year missionary service, weighing probably about 220 pounds. Pretty big for someone being 5'6", and not having a lot of muscle. I thought that I had a lot of muscle, but honestly, I didn't. I came home 2 years later, returned back, and after that missionary service, and I'd weighed, I remember one point, I never really documented anything, but I remember stepping on the scale one day, and the number flashed up 283 pounds. Didn't register, didn't think anything of it. I was like, Oh, wow. Okay. That's how much I weigh. Good to know. And some of my friends and I, during high school, after high school, loved lifting weights. Um, and so we would go to the gym regularly. And that's really where it all started. Of course, being a young male, loved the thought of getting strong. I had always envisioned being like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He is still a fitness icon, celebrity that I look up to and draw inspiration from. I remember watching Generation Iron and thinking, oh my gosh, I want to look like Arnold. Somehow I'm going to add some height and a ton of muscle. And so going and working out with my friends helped me get to the start of this fitness journey. Now, I have always loved eating. I hope a lot of you do. But I love eating just a little bit too much. And really what downplays and is a little bit of my downfall is that I am an emotional eater. And it kind of, I guess, hurts/helps the weight problem that we are a huge culture and society that focuses events around food and around eating. So here I am with my buddies. We like to go out to the gym, work out, spend some good time there, and then afterwards, we like to go out to eat, either before or after. And, sometimes we try to do the healthy option of getting Subway or something like that, but most of the times, it was not the healthy option. Going to a Utah Classic training table, one of our favorite spots. I can remember going to Iggy's a lot as well, Texas Roadhouse. I mean, you name it, we would go there after a workout and just eat. But there was a time where it all hit me and was like, holy crap, I have to make a change. Now, for those of you that do know me, you know that I have posted a picture of me at my heaviest and have done like a follow-up of, oh, look at me now, I've lost a lot of weight. But that photo was taken up at Bear Lake. What I haven't most of the time shown you with the rest of that photo is that there are probably about 8 of my buddies in line and a couple of our other friends that were up there. Magical summer that Jason and his now wife Addie met. But anyway, we're standing in the lake and there's all of my friends and they're all pretty fit. Young lads looking really good. And then there's me there, big old boy, 280 pounds. And I remember looking at that photo and that's when I was like, holy crap, I have got to do something about this. And those workouts from going to the gym, wanting to be strong and wanting to look like Arnold got a little bit more serious. Most importantly, the things that I started eating started to change. Now, it has been a long process. That was 8 years ago. And within those 8 years, I have lost weight, I've gained weight, I've added muscle, I've lost muscle. And I have just continued on this journey. Now, my weight loss isn't something that has happened very fast. Initially, the weight started to come off as I focused a little bit more when I went to the gym on doing cardio sessions, that terrible word, and then also mixing it with lifting weights and then eating right. The weight, I remember the first couple of years, it just went off fast, and then I plateaued out. Now, along all this, and just growing up, I enrolled in school, college, and I had goals and aspirations, and I wanted to be in the healthcare industry. I originally had ambitions to be a doctor, and then in school I couldn't focus enough on my studies. There's that triangle typically that you'll see where it's get good grades, have a social life, work, and unfortunately you can't choose all three. You can only choose two, and early on in my schooling suffered. So knowing I probably wasn't going to get to be a doctor, or didn't want to actually put in the work for it, still wanting to be in healthcare, I adjusted my focus and emphasis to do physical therapy. Didn't require, still challenging and still tough, but didn't require as much as a MD, a medical doctor, I guess you could say. It was a great benefit and helped me in my weight loss journey. My degree is in exercise science, and so as part of that, and working to become a physical therapist, get this degree, there were a lot of fitness and exercise classes that I took, and nutrition classes as part of my core requirements as well as electives. And it was all super fascinating to really jump in, of course, to learn all of the anatomy, human anatomy, the muscles, the bones, how your body moves, some of the physiology behind it, and then also the nutrition. Now, it's very funny because there are gym myths and a lot of misconceptions about nutrition and about working out. And once I started learning all these stuff and from a scientific background, man, everything just started to click. As far as nutrition, and one of the big gym myths is that you can outwork, you can eat, enjoy the things you want to eat, and then you just go to the gym and work it off. And if you have that mindset, you need to change that mindset, because it is 100% false. Unless you are using some type of performance enhancing drugs, something along those lines. There is no way you can feed your body crap and have it looking like a well-performing machine. I do want to just add in, you can't feed your body crap on a regular basis. And have it looking like a well put together machine, like, an automobile or an airplane or something like that. And oftentimes I do actually like to compare the body to a car. As far as a vehicle, if you're thinking about what it takes to get that vehicle to go, all of the things under the hood, I guess you could say, and even with the whole makeup of the car, have to be in working order. You have to maintain it. And most importantly, you have to put the correct fuel in the vehicle in order for it to work. Hey, but guess what? It's not just something you can do once. You're eventually going to run out of gas. Your body is the same way. Assuming everything's well maintained and kept in, you can get X amount of miles out of your gas tank. And then you have to refuel it. And you have to keep this process going up. Make sure your tires have the proper air pressure in them. Make sure your vehicle has oil in it, radiator fluid, all of that stuff, or else you're going to run into some problems and your vehicle's going to stop working. Your body is the same way. You have to make sure you're putting the correct fuel into your body to reach whatever optimal goal it is that you're trying to achieve. And going back to the gym and proper nutrition, if you are consistently putting crap in your body, you're not going to be able to perform. And of course, you feel like crap too. Sure, it may be satisfying while you're eating that meal, but far too often, I know myself at least, after I indulge in a meal that I think is going to be so great, giving into the short-term gratification, I always feel bad after the next day. I like to say it makes me feel heavy. Eating a healthier meal makes me feel lighter. It makes me feel fit. But you have to make sure you're putting the right fuel in your body. And in learning that, and in learning how the body takes whatever it is you're eating and either uses it for fuel in what your body needs to go about its daily activities, whether that just be waking up in the morning and going to work, or, if you are a parent taking care of your kids, or if you are an athlete, or if you just like enjoying things, going to the gym, going hiking, anything like that. Your body's going to need energy for all of these activities, and you have to put the right stuff in. And when you eat, making sure that you know what's happening to what you're putting in your body, you're putting in the right amounts, and knowing how your body uses that, and then super scary, we'll store it for times when you need that energy. If you've used all of the gas at that moment, your body will then store some of it up for later. It's just natural, the way that our bodies function and they're made. Now, there's a lot of talk, and I'm not going to go specifically into nutrition stuff during this episode, as I'm just sharing a little bit about my fitness journey with you. We can dive into nutrition in another episode. But there are a lot of, as I said, gym myths, but also fad diets that are out there. Be careful of the diet that you are choosing to follow, if you are following one. Because your body, there are essential things that you need from everything that's available to us. Now, you can jump into the arguments that our body's not made to process carbohydrates, of course, processed foods, fast food, fatty foods, and stuff like that. But the thing to remember is that really any diet can be successful. All of our bodies are different. Something that works for one individual may not work for somebody else. And during my fitness journey, that's what I learned. I learned what worked really well for me. What worked really well for me was following a strict meal plan that I would eat 3 meals a day. And most importantly, I would watch the amount of calories I was consuming. Now, that's why I say, really, any diet can work, because just think of our body, our activity levels, and the energy needed for those as a balanced scale. Now, with that, no matter what you're putting into your body, and yes, I say no matter what, as long as your total calorie consumption does not exceed your it's called your basal metabolic rate, what your body needs just for all of your organs to function, and then also your daily activity. So that amount of energy, I just hit the mic stand there. Uh-oh. As long as what you're putting in does not exceed that and you're at a deficit, you are going to lose weight. Hands down. There's a documentary about Morgan Spurlock, and he goes on this McDonald's diet, and he loses weight. Now, he does happen to pick up a lot of metabolic issues and problems there, high cholesterol being one of those, and so there's some other health effects. But if you're just going overall to lose weight, as long as you're at a calorie deficit, if you're doing the Atkins diet, you'll lose weight. If you're doing the paleo diet, you'll lose weight. If you are doing the keto diet, you'll lose weight. If you're meal prepping, if you are not meal prepping, if you are just at a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. And I learned this, and that's what I followed. It's called, and then getting a little bit more in depth with it as I learned more, I learned that there's a macro breakdown of the essential nutrients, the big 3 that your body needs: protein, carbohydrates, and fats. And so I structured my diet a little bit more according to those lines. And I was able to lose a lot of weight. But again, it didn't happen fast. Just last year, I was able to get down to my lowest point, again, from my highest being 280 pounds to 193 pounds. I was trying really hard to get to 180 pounds so that I could say that on a scale, I had lost 100 pounds. Now, again, taking into mind that there's a difference between losing 100 pounds of fat versus losing 100 pounds of muscle, and so there's a composition there. And of course, during this whole time and process, I built muscle, lost fat, lost muscle, gained fat, and so the whole consumption went down. But the whole composition changed of what I was losing. But I really wanted to say that I had lost 100 pounds on the scale, regardless if it was muscle or if it was fat. I was at one point 280 pounds and had gotten down to 180. It's still a goal that I would like to have to get down to that point. I'm going through one of those times where I'm not as structured on my diet. I'm trying to get back to being super dedicated. So my weight has fluctuated up a little bit. But oh no. The air conditioner kicked on. We're going to have to finish. I didn't think that was going to happen. You're going to get some sound of the air conditioner in here towards the end. I apologize. Totally made me lose my train of thought. But anyway, going to school, learning about these macros, I was able to get down to my lowest point and become super successful with it. Now, you can see this photo and you can see the comparisons if you jump onto my Instagram. It's on there. It's also on my Facebook. And for those of you who don't know me and who are looking at this, you can make that visual comparison. I know that's going to help a lot to see where I was and to where I'm at now. Now, I have a few tips for you. For those of you who are like, oh my gosh, it's possible. You can lose weight. You can follow a structured diet plan and make some adjustments and changes to your life and get down and, again, live your optimal life where you would really like to be, not just something that you're doing to go along the motions, but living in that optimal phase where you're saying, yes, this is where I want to be. Now, they're actually not tips. They are some words of advice. Let's go with that. I've got 3 words of advice for you if you are looking to, as well, like me, make this fitness journey. First, be real with yourselves. It's going to be hard. It was and is hard work for me to lose weight. You have to be dedicated, most importantly, to your nutrition. Workout plans are great to aid in that weight loss as well. But also, if it's easy, man, you are awesome, or you are doing something wrong. And most of the time, it's that second thing. You're doing something wrong. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. The second thing, remember, it's going to take time. Think about wherever you're at. If you're small, I say small because I'm not trying to characterize you, but oftentimes in these situations, we characterize ourselves. If you're small and you want to get larger, build muscle mass, you have to remember that there's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to say, oh, geez, I want to be big. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out. I'm going to drink a protein shake. Boom. Tomorrow, I'm going to have biceps. I'm going to have pectoral muscles, leg muscles, abs, whatever it is that you want. It doesn't just happen overnight. If you are larger, if you're overweight, that didn't happen overnight. You didn't put that weight on in a month. You didn't put that weight on in a year. Oftentimes it's slow and it's gradual, and all of a sudden you get to a point and you're like, holy crap, I've gained 50 pounds. Oh man, I need to do something. And you expect for that weight to go off in a month or two. It's not going to happen. Have that long mindset of, you know what? It's probably going to take a year or two for me to lose weight, to develop healthy habits, to maintain, to keep that weight off. That's my next word of advice. The third thing, and like I did in my fitness journey, start small and build from there. It's a learning process. You don't need to go to the gym every single day and work out for 2 hours. That's just ridiculous. You need to start small, and you need to start somewhere, and you need to do something. But most importantly, work on those nutrition. Work on your nutrition. Going to the gym is just going to help you, again, have healthy habits and help with some of that weight loss. So start small there. Maybe start with 2 times a week, 30 minutes. That's it. Get a sweat going. Make sure you have a good workout. And then hit that nutrition and stay strict with your nutrition, because that's where you're really going to be successful, whether it's adding muscle or losing weight. That's going to be the key. Again, unless you're on some performance enhancers. Then the game is super easy. But that is what I wanted to share with you guys as far as some words of advice and a little bit about my story, how I got from point A to where I'm at right now, point B. With Optimal You, I want to help you. I don't know how to help you if you don't tell me. So, on any of my social media, to my email account, if you're a friend, if you're not a friend, in the comments below on YouTube, ask me your questions. Ask me your fitness. Ask me your nutrition-related questions. I'm going to do my best, whether it be during the episode, responding to your comments, in answering those. Because I do, again, want to help you, but I'm not going to go through like a whole video of just answering questions. One, that's boring. You don't know when or how your question is going to get answered. But I will do my best if you ask a question to answer that question for you. Because, again, I want to help you. I want you to live your optimal life. So if there is some wisdom or knowledge that I have, I want to share that with you. I have a degree in exercise science. I have a personal training certification. I also have a nutrition certification as well on top of that. So a 4-year degree and then those. I know a little bit about it. If you ask a question and I don't know about it, I'm going to do research and I will find out. And not just by going online, I will be looking at factual science-based research to answer your question. I'm not going to go with gym myths or anything that is not peer-reviewed to answer those questions. Oh, crap. I just keep bumping things. Which leads me to another point. Again, thank you for everybody who watched, gave me some tips and suggestions. This episode, Pang, I've tried to avoid using filler words, and then also to bring my lips together and making that smacking sound as well. I've tried to cut down on those. If there are any other suggestions that you guys have, if you podcast, vlog, whatever it is, and want to put those suggestions out to me, I would love them. And if you are interested in doing a podcast, if you're interested in vlog, ask me. I'm willing to answer those right now. Seth Brockbank, he was like, hey man, it's awesome what you're doing. I have some questions for you. Boom. Jumped over to Messenger on him, gave him my digits, and was like, dude, let me know how I can help you. I even told one of my friends, oh, you've been thinking about recording? Come over. Use my equipment. Use the mic. You can use my laptop. Bring your own laptop. You want to just try it out? You want to sit in on an episode? Do that. Which brings me to another thing. The good old boys of Chase Carter and Clay Carter. Huge shout out to them in the Salt City podcast. I did that to them. I asked them, I was like, hey, Chase, I am super interested in coming and taking a look at your equipment and just sitting in on one of your shows and seeing how you guys do it. He responded to, hey, why don't you just come be on the show? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm super nervous. No, I don't want to. But it was awesome. I went over, was part of one of their recordings, saw their setup, and some of the stuff that I bought was from their recommendations. And so if you have questions, I'm happy to share with you what I've done, where I'm at, the equipment, and any of that stuff too. But again, big shout out to all you for listening. Look forward to the next episode. The next episode will be going into a little bit of my life story. This was a little bit of my fitness journey. Next episode, my life story. You're going to want to tune in for that. Putting it out there, I am interested in having a co-host, taking applications now. Co-host on the show, co-host in life to join me, taking applications for both. So you have any recommendations or referrals, or if you're interested in being the show or anything like that, send them my way. And I'd be happy to get somebody here on the show to co-host. And also, if you're interested in being on the show, remember, Optimal You, I want to share not only my story to help somebody else who is in my situation, going through something similar, not in my situation, just looking for something motivation and inspiring. If you have a motivation and inspiring story you want to share and you want to be on the show, let me know. Love to have you on. Thanks for listening. I am going to have the next episode out in 2 weeks, and you can look forward to hearing these every other Friday. This is going to be out tomorrow, July 6th. Hope you all enjoy and look forward to hearing some feedback on the show.